What's up, everyone? It's the Columbus Lions Coaches Show here live from Poor Decisions Thrift Behringer, and we have a jam-packed show. We're glad to be here at Poor Decisions, one of the top sports bars in our area and a major supporter of the Columbus Lions. And I am so hungry. I'm about to indulge these here in just a little bit. Lemon pepper wings, mild wings. It's 50-cent wing night all night here at Poor Decisions. So come on, hang out, have some fun, watch some basketball, chill out with us, and enjoy some 50-cent wings. Columbus Lions season started off with a bang last week. Feeding him. He is an absolute monster. We're going to talk about all that and more. I'll have head coach Damian Daniels. You're going to hear about the two old guys that are in the booth, but I'm telling you, legends. Mike Peacock, Dave Plata, they enjoyed themselves, and they're going to recap last week and talk about what's upcoming, and we're going to try to have on anyone else that's here live from Poor Decisions. It's the Columbus Lions Coaches Show, and if you're looking to sponsor anything with the Columbus Lions, you can reach out to the front office right now and ask Poor Decisions. It's one of the best investments they've made, and I'm telling you, last week, Tonio Armani, maybe the best halftime show I've ever seen. And, you know, Roger Beck, the owner, was telling me it's the best in Columbus history. And that's no doubt. I'm starting to take it a step further. Have you ever seen a halftime show in which the singer was right on point with a band, high school band, and Carver, I'm telling you, you could not match that anywhere else, and I'm glad that we are going to be a part of it. What a lights-out show, and guess what? They're upping it up this week. Cupid is going to be here from the Cupid Shuffle. Are you kidding me? They're just taking another level. Corey Black and Roger Beck said they were doing big things, and they are living up to their expectation and their words. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a break, because I know y'all don't want to hear from me. You want to hear from the Nighthawk himself, Damian Daniels, head coach of the Columbus Lions, here on the Columbus Lions Coach Show, live from Poor Decisions, coming up next.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
Welcome back, everyone, to Poor Decisions, home of the Columbus Lions Coaches Show. And I am with head coach Damian Daniels. Coach, thank you so much, brother.
Yes, sir.
Man, had a
Love being
fun
here.
time yet, and we had a grand time last week in that 79-0 blowout over Tri-City.
Right.
First things first, man. And this is just me. I've been there for 4 years. You've been there a lot longer than me,
Right,
brother.
Yeah.
That was the best home opener I've seen in terms of attendance, in terms of entertainment, then winning. All in all, I thought it was 100 out of 100. What was your thoughts
Right.
from your perspective?
Without a doubt, I can agree with you. Roger Beck, Corey Black, they have been doing everything they can to make that grand entrance. And I mean, they definitely, they did exactly what they were supposed to do. And of course, as a team, we wanted to follow that up.
Right.
So I think we did what we were supposed to do. So it was a great night for everybody.
We got a lot we're going to be getting into. Let's talk about last week's game.
Yeah.
First thing, defensively, I want to start with that. Offensively, obviously, you could have scored 100 if you wanted to. We'll get in
Right.
the offense.
Right.
Defensively, though, lights out, man. Didn't
Right.
give up many first downs.
Right.
DeAndre Brown, I call him the boogeyman. He's scary. Don't get in his
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
5 sacks. Jacobin Ware, your linebacker leader, he was excellent. The secondary was incredible.
Yeah.
We had a pick six. Joel Green even had 2 interceptions.
Yeah.
Talk about that defensive side. Your bread and butter, baby, and how they
yeah.
perform.
I get on those guys hard, man. So I'm glad that we was able to come out and dominate the line of scrimmage the way we were supposed to. Secondary did a great job as well. And when we had the opportunity to make plays, we made them. So that's one thing that we talk about all the time, each day of practice. When the opportunity comes, we got to make them. And we was able to do that. Marte Sears, like you said, with a pick six. They had a fumble snap. Ball went over the guy's head. Jacobin Ware scoops it up for a
Right.
touchdown. So, and the main thing that I was proud of the most is how disciplined we were.
No doubt.
They were trying to change the snap count and trying to, do some things to steal some yards, but we played pretty disciplined, man, and we dominated the night.
It's pretty cool that Marte Sears' son, freshman on Carver's team, had the game-winning touchdown against Sumter County, and then we
Yeah.
get to watch his dad play
Yeah.
with the
Yeah.
Columbus Lions. That's really cool.
Did you see the pass that he threw to him?
Come on, man.
After the pick six, Marte runs to the other end and throws it directly in the stands
That's awesome,
to
bro.
his son. That was a pretty special moment.
I love seeing stuff like that,
Yeah.
Coach. How important is it more the defensive backs or elite that allow DeAndre Brown to get after it, or is it DeAndre Brown and the defensive line getting after the quarterback allow those secondary, or is it just a mixture of both?
I think it's a mixture of both, but I think it definitely starts up front.
Okay.
The faster we can get after the quarterback, that now they don't have as much time to do what they need to do, and they're trying to rush to get the ball out. That allows our guys on the back end to make some more plays. But sometimes it works the opposite way. Sometimes the defensive backs, they cover so well that they give the D-line extra time. So, but the other night, I think it was our defensive line. We dominated them pretty well. So, but it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, no doubt. DeAndre lived in that backfield for
Yeah.
sure. He had real estate in Tri-City,
Yeah,
it seems
yeah.
like, before that game. Offensively,
Right.
we talked about, it was a quarterback carousel. You felt like you had 3 capable guys. Blaine was excellent. 6 of
Right.
8, 4 touchdowns. Michael Hill comes in the second half. He was 5 of 7 with 3 touchdowns.
Right.
What's your thoughts on how both of them played, and what's your starting quarterback and your depth chart moving forward? Do you even have that?
Well, Blaine is going to be our guy. I think
Okay.
he has the experience, and he came in and he showed that. His leadership. I think he came in and he did exactly what he was supposed to do. He only threw 2 incompletions, like you said,
Yeah.
and had he played the whole game, he probably was threw for 8 or 9 touchdowns.
doubt.
But I like Michael Hill as well, young guy, and I think him learning from Blaine is only going to help him when the time comes for him to take over. But I definitely like both guys, and our receivers, they did a good job all night of helping them out, making plays.
Yeah, remember last year we had injuries to quarterback. It's always good having
Right.
2 guys, man. So really been impressed with Michael. But Blaine, is it weird that his brother was your
Yeah.
quarterback back in
Yeah.
the day, and now you're coaching him, man?
It's crazy. I called him Mason a couple times, just on accident, from being around Mason so much. But he definitely takes after Mason, and I'm glad we was able to get him.
All right, let's talk about Jakias Creedle, who is also a teacher, by the way, at Carver. For those who don't know,
Right.
teacher by day,
Yeah.
fly by at night
Yeah.
with the Columbus Lions. Creedle, he had 6 receptions, 3 touchdowns, and you also had Jacob Smith and then reliable Jermarne Forts. And talk about that
Right.
receiving core and how they set the tone, man.
Well, and like I told you before in our last conversation, those were the 2 guys that I was very excited about.
Yeah, you
Jakias Cradle. I knew he was going to have a big night. And then the speed of Jacob Smith is electric. I mean, as soon as he caught that kickoff with a guy and we designed the uniforms, and you know, we decided to come out in all white that first game. And I mean, I think it was a big hit.
What else you got up your sleeve? We got other special ones?
Yeah.
We dropping one this week too?
Listen, we got something up our sleeve. Actually, right now, I got a couple guys at the Civic Center shooting a video for the uniforms that we're wearing this week. So it's never gonna stop. Every week we're gonna be in something new, and it's gonna be pretty hot.
I'm happy for you, man, because I know the hard work and time and effort and blood and sweat and tears you put in this organization, and you deserve having an admin and having an owner that believe and want to give back. And I think what Roger and Corey have done is an excellent job. Let's talk about halftime. Tony Armani, were you able to come out and see any of that, man? I know you were focused.
Yeah, I was able to catch a snippet of it. You know, not the whole thing, but you know, from what I saw, he did a great job. And just, you know, from the Facebook posts, I mean, the crowd and the community, they still talking about it right now. So, but you know, it was amazing, man, just to see and hear about. So I'm looking forward to this week too.
All right, now we got to talk about your coaches.
Yeah.
Pierre Coffey. You know, many people out there. Pierre Coffey, offensive mind, he's not even coaching football anymore. He's a principal at a school in Seward County. What are you doing, coach? You're hiring him. 79 points in his first game. Talk about what Pierre was able to do. When I saw him, man, I was like, dude, you look like you're having a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
That was a great hire. And how do you think he did in game one?
I think he did excellent, man. You know, I think it was good for him to, you know, get the jitters out because he hadn't coached in a year or so. But I think going into that game, he was very confident. You know, I could tell in training camp, I could tell in the practices leading up.
And the city is ready to explode for Columbus Lions love, man.
Yeah, I mean, on the field, we're going to continue to do what we do. But I messed with Corey and said, how are you going to back this up, man? I mean, how are you going to follow this up? And, you know, lo and behold, he did it again with Cupid Shuffle. So week by week, you know, it's going to be a surprise, man. I can't wait for it.
All right, we're going to take a break. By the way, we're live from Poor Decisions, and if you like pepper, 50-cent wings here on Wednesday, plus you can get you some fries. We love what Jason Martinez and Poor Decisions do with Columbus Lions. We'll take a break. We'll come back. Me and Coach are going to talk about this week. League play gets underhand, and one of the top teams, Wheeling from West Virginia, comes to town here on the Columbus Lions Coaches Show.
At Jack Houston Memorial Hospital, our focus is you. Even though we performed more than 1,300 joint replacements last year, we treat you like you are our only patient. Your surgeon explains your joint replacement, so nothing is a surprise. Our team knows your treatment plan, and we work together to get you back on your feet again. That's why our hospital is recognized year after year as a leader in patient satisfaction and quality of care. Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. Excellence, always.
Welcome back here to the Columbus Lions Coach Show from Poor Decisions. Head coach Damian Daniels. Coach, Wheeling comes to town. Familiar foe. They were in the indoor arena league, indoor football league last year with you. Y'all split 1-1. Obviously, new rules, whole different league now. What do you know about Wheeling? What are you looking forward to?
Don't know much about them as a team. I do know they have Chris McKinney, old head coach that was here in 23.
Oh, no way.
As their head coach. So, you know, I'm sure he's going to have those guys ready, but this is one of the games that we've had circled for a while.
No doubt.
We dropped it to them. We was up 33-7 last year. Took our foot off the gas, allowed them to come back and win the game. So we're definitely ready for this.
Is that the mindset for this year for the entire team? It's like, hey, especially in arena football, points can come like this. Then you got the gold ball that you can score 14 points in one possession. How important is your guys always keep the foot on the gas and always score points?
We've been talking about it since day one. You know, we got to be pedal to the metal, foot on the gas from start to finish. You know, so and we showed that last week You know, I even called the timeout right at the end trying to score again. And that was a message to my team that, hey, I told y'all guys that I want to be,
No doubt.
you know, pedal to the metal. So I think they took my lead, and hopefully we can continue that the rest of the season.
What's preparation like this week, knowing that they have film on you, you don't have film on them? They were one of the teams that did not play a game last week against an AL2 team. So I know that's a little bit frustrating, but do you feel like your guys are prepared as they can be for this week?
I mean, as we can. Like you say, no film to watch, but we watched a lot of film on ourselves, make sure we went back and made the corrections to ourselves that we need to. So it's just about doing what we do. You know, on defense, being sound, being disciplined, you know, getting after it, and then try to be efficient on offense. So I think if we can do those things, we'll be good.
Will the game plan change at all, or do you feel like you're going to have the same game plan throughout the season? I guess that really depends on the film that y'all will be able to get.
Yeah, it's going to be depending on the film, and then there's always in-game adjustments as well. So I told the guys leading up to this one especially, there are definitely going to be some in-game adjustments we're going to have to make. So make sure we come to the sideline, talk about what needs to be talked about, make our adjustments, and go out there and execute.
All right, Coach, this is for the community out there that have never experienced a Lions game, and they heard about the buzz, and they want to come out. Now you're playing a league opponent. It should be a lot of fun. You still want to win 79-0 if you can.
Exactly.
But it's going to be a lot of fun. You got Cupid Shuffle coming in. Set the stage for the community out there why they need to come.
If you missed the last one, you definitely don't want to miss this one. Because like I said, the community, Facebook, they have not stopped talking about it yet. It's only going to get bigger and better, so you better get on while you can.
His name is the Nighthawk. He's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer. He's the greatest player, I think, in arena football history. And he's coaching the Lions, and they got a big one this Friday night. Coach, thank you so much. He's about to go enjoy some wings. We're going to take a break, and then we got the two old guys coming on, Mike Peacock, Dave Plata, right here to talk about last week's game, what they look forward to this week, and more. Columbus Lions YouTube, Columbus Lions Coach Show here at Poor Decisions. We'll be right back after this.
Imagine a life-changing injury. Imagine the fear and unknown. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team, the only physicians in the area with advanced certification in orthopedic sports medicine, treats sports injuries with innovative techniques. The Houston Clinic has helped nearly 1 million athletes live without pain. Imagine getting back in the game. Imagine the best game of your life. The Houston Clinic Sports Medicine Team.
And welcome back here to Poor Decisions and Dave Plata. I'm Mike Peacock, Dave Plata, the broadcast team for the Columbus Lions. And Dave, this is the greatest name of a sports bar I've ever seen. And,
that was a great decision.
That was a great decision, absolutely. We are excited. You know, after week one, we were excited to bring week one to everybody in Columbus, and what a game it was! What a crowd! Yeah. And even more excited this week because Wheeling comes in, and there's a little bit of a rivalry between these two teams after last year.
Sure, last year, I mean, had some great games and, went head-to-head and everything else. Plus, it's a step up.
Yes.
Because last week's game was against an AAL2 team.
Right.
The guys that want to get into the league. Some good talent in there, but they just got totally overwhelmed.
Oh,
The
absolutely.
Lions just dominated so completely.
And I thought Thrift made a great analogy a while ago when he compared AAL2 to the G League and
Yeah.
the NBA.
Yeah.
That's really what it is. It's a developmental league getting ready to go to the next level.
Yeah.
And, it was quite obvious from the get-go that the better team was in white last week for sure.
There was no question about that from the opening snap, because I think they had one play in the first half where they gained yardage.
Yeah.
It was just the defense completely overwhelmed the offense, and let's face it, the Lions offense was just pinpoint, big
Absolutely.
plays. They didn't have to put together a drive in the first half.
Right.
I was kind of worried about that for a second. 'Cause
Right.
You want to see them put together drives. They did that in the second half with Michael Hill and their
Right.
quarterback. I mean, they just played such a complete game, and it was such a dominant performance.
Well, in the best field position all night for Tri-City came after the opening kickoff, which was a failed onside kick.
And they almost recovered that one anyway.
They
so.
did, and that was the best field position, but they went backwards from there. And, then had a field goal blocked, on their first possession. So, you would think it would be a chip shot field goal, but no, it was a blocked field goal. And that got the game off to a really good start for the Lions, and they never looked back.
Absolutely, and they went out there with the right mindset. The defense really impressed me with the way they just swarmed the ball, and the defensive line just completely dominated in the trenches. Tri-City couldn't do anything. It was usually snap, step, throw, because you have to go quick in arena ball because the field's so small, so limited, and they're right on you at the beginning. It was more like step, duck.
Yes.
That's all what it came down to. I mean, what were there, 14 sacks? It was just, I've never seen a performance like that. So
Incredible.
dominant.
And it's like you said, it was the quarterback just did not have time to even get his eyes downfield before he was trying to duck white jerseys, and felt bad for him, but
Up to a point.
As a defensive mind,
Yeah.
like Coach Daniels is,
Yeah.
he had to be proud of the way that defensive played came and took charge of that game right away.
Absolutely. That was a good quarterback because their quarterback had played at Austin Peay, which is a real good program.
Right.
It's a good group of four program. And he came in there, and there was not a thing he could do. He had a little bit of time and showed a little bit in the second half,
Right.
Because he got a couple of plays. But the fact that the Lions were just so dominant and just so on point, they had the right game plan, and they got to show off their athletic ability, which is a lot of athletic ability, man.
Well,
wow.
And I'm going to say, we'll just kind of talk about real quick the crowd and the atmosphere. And this week, those people that were there have gone and told all their friends.
Yes.
And now you've got a Friday night game coming this week. I'm expecting a really nice crowd on Friday night.
That should be really good. I mean, let's face it, Thursday night, you're not going to get the crowd you get on a Friday night. But it was a good crowd that Thursday night, and the crowd was into it. It didn't take long, a couple of plays, and everybody was they were on top of it. Fans were getting into it. Now you get a Friday night crowd, which should be a much bigger gate.
Oh, yeah.
And so, this is going to be a show.
Well, and I think the Clingstones are not in town this week, so parking will be a little bit easier and a little bit easier to navigate around the Civic Center. And, it's just, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to having some fun this week at the Civic Center. What do you know so far about Wheeling?
I haven't been able to pick up much.
It's been
or
hard
anything.
to find out some intel.
Yeah, the problem is Wheeling. Last week, it took us a while to figure out who Tri-City had,
Right.
And finally came up with it late. Wheeling, it's the same deal. Wheeling hasn't played a game yet,
Right.
So they haven't really revealed anything at all on their website. And I have not been able to get a hold of anybody with the team. There's just some of this, some of that. I'm just going to assume they're going to be a really good ball club, and they're just going to come in, play hard, and everything else. That's all they can do. They're going to have a slight advantage, of course, because they've seen the Lions in action,
Right.
And they've seen what Espinosa's got and Smith, and what the wideouts can do. Because everybody, that's the thing last week, everybody contributed. Every single guy who suited up did something and did something good repeatedly all night long.
You got to think about last week. You scored a touchdown running the football.
Yep.
You scored a touchdown on a return.
Yeah. And what a return that was.
You scored a touchdown on a pick six.
Yep.
and then you scored a bunch of offensive touchdowns through the air.
And don't forget on the bad snap on the field goal,
Right.
a fumble recovery
Fumble
touchdown.
recovery in the end zone.
Yeah, so there's that.
And
Yeah.
then how many safeties did we have? Three?
Three safeties.
Three safeties.
Three safeties in the
And
first quarter.
So you saw just about every way a team could score in that 79-0 win, and it was just extremely entertaining for the fans.
And it was. And think about all 4 wide receivers on the roster, all had a touchdown.
Yeah.
I mean, Jamon Fortson coming up with the TD, and Jerkias Cradle, how many he had? 3 or 4. He had three.
Yeah.
He had three receptions in his first game in
Yeah.
indoor. So I mean, they showed out what they can do. And Smith, I mean, Jacob Smith, I mean, what a show he put on. The 2 receptions. He had a catch that he kind of took off his shoe tops, if I recall. Good hands. But that kickoff return.
Oh, yeah.
Holy cow. I mean, he took it 5 yards deep in the end zone and just took off. Usually you have to cut and kind of go through, right? And the thing was, Tri-City played it right.
Right,
They
they
stayed
did.
in their lanes. But Smith just blew by him. They couldn't get a hand on him. He literally ran through them and passed them before they could react.
Yeah.
I have never seen a touchdown return like that.
And I think,
Wow.
you and I talked about it before the game. He was kind of my pick to click before the game. I said, keep an eye on number 14 because this kid could be special. He was a track athlete at Kentucky.
Yep.
And
Sprinter.
last year he kind of was on the practice squad and was figuring
Yeah.
things out.
Yeah.
The amazing thing about him is he's still learning the game. And
Yeah.
look what he's already done,
Yeah.
with that kickoff return. He's electric every time he touches the football.
Sheer athletic talent helps a lot in football, and in his case, the more knowledge he gets in football. I believe he played a little bit. He played football in high school, but he concentrated on track at Kentucky. Now we got to remember, SEC track is top level track.
Right.
I mean, that is the guys from the SEC. They're going to the Olympics.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you've got to do well there. You have got to be an outstanding athlete. A little bit of football knowledge coming in, so he doesn't come in totally cold. But it's different level playing pro and everything
Right.
else. But his sheer athletic talent, his sheer speed, and the speed in which he's picking up the game and everything else, he's going to be scary.
No doubt. No doubt.
He already is.
Well, I tell you, let's take a break, and we'll come back here to Poor Decisions. We'll talk a little bit more in the next segment about the Lions game last week. We'll talk a little bit more about the defense, Dave, when we come back, and some other things involved. And then we're going to carry on here with the Coaches Show live from Poor Decisions. We'll be back in a moment.
At Jack Houston Memorial Hospital, our focus is you. Even though we performed more than 1,300 joint replacements last year, we treat you like you are our only patient. Your surgeon explains your joint replacement, so nothing is a surprise. Our team knows your treatment plan, and we work together to get you back on your feet again. That's why our hospital is recognized year after year as a leader in patient satisfaction and quality of care. Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. Excellence, always.
And we're back here at Poor Decisions on the Columbus Lions Coaches Show. I'm Mike Peacock, and this is Dave Plata. For those of you, if you've been around Columbus in your life, you've been living under a rock if you don't know who this guy is. But Dave, we're the two old guys.
Yep.
Both of us been around quite a while. We've been around a lot of sports.
Yep,
And,
we've seen plenty.
But I think for both of us, this was our first opportunity to call an arena football game.
It was.
And I've done a lot of football.
Yes.
But never an arena game. And it was interesting. Seeing football condensed down to a hockey arena was pretty fun.
Yes, and the speed at which the game is played, because of the what you call the condensed field, the speed at which things happen, boom, boom, boom. You got 2-3 steps and something's happening, and the play is over pretty quick. And to watch that, and have to try to call it too, and try to keep up with it.
It's almost like calling a hockey game.
Almost.
The speed of it is
really
almost like
to
trying to keep up with everything that you do in a hockky game.
Yeah.
I've never called a hockey game.
No.
But I've heard some really good guys who do.
Yes.
And, it's just...
that
was
quick,
amazing.
The quick reactions you need. The thing is, it's just literally for football, that's just as quick.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It was an amazing experience to have to call it and to try to keep up with everything.
Keep up.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean, I tried keeping notes.
You definitely got to pay attention, don't you?
Yeah, you can't look away, and you didn't want to look away.
Right.
The way the defense played.
Oh yeah.
The front three just came in and they were on the quarterback before he could take 2 steps back.
Yeah.
And they totally dominated the line, and they showed what they could do. Because all three of the guys up front were back from last season.
Right.
And they had all had great years last year. This shows how much they've improved.
Right.
And
you've got, that's one point I wanted to make about this Lions defense, especially. You got a lot of veteran guys.
Yes.
You've got a lot of experience on that side of the football.
Yeah.
And those guys were on a mission, And, a group of Lions is called a pride.
Right.
And the quarterback and the backs from Tri-City had to feel like they were getting attacked by the whole pride every play.
Yeah, well, you mentioned swarm.
Yeah.
There was the swarming. You always associate swarming with like Yellow Jackets, Georgia Tech fans.
Yeah.
You know about that stuff.
Yeah.
A swarm of lions is pretty scary.
Yeah.
And, you got McCall Yancey, Tyler Clark, DeAndre Brown just absolutely went in there and dominated. All 3 of them were starters last year. There were 5 or 6 starters from last season on defense return. And it was obvious these guys had played together. They knew strengths and weaknesses from each of them, and they complemented each other so well.
Yeah.
The 3 safeties that all happened in the first quarter, the 3 safeties in one quarter, all 3 of them, I tried to assign somebody the 2 points. And I had to go back and look at the game film to figure one of them out. DeCoven Ware, so I kind of assigned that one to. But Brown, Yancey, and DeCoven Ware.
Yeah.
The 3 of them actually technically got the safety. But there were 3 or 4 guys on it every single time.
Well, and you mentioned DeAndre Brown. I mean, he's a freak of nature. The guy was just unstoppable last week, and I look for him to be that way all season long for the Lions. He is going to be the key for that defense because he's the leader. I mean, he's the guy that as he goes, the defense goes. And that's a lot to have on your shoulders, but he don't mind.
No,
because he can handle it.
He can handle it. He was one of the 2 guys that had 4 sacks last season.
Right.
Team sack leader. I mean, he played his ball at Southern Miss, good
Right.
program and everything else. And I mean, at 6'6", what is it? 6'6", 240.
Yep.
A big dude who's quick.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
He knows how to ball hawk, and I love this. I'm waiting to see what they do this week.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing. You got big Tyler Clark at the nose position, who did a tremendous job. I mean, it's just, what can you say? Everybody was where they were supposed to be.
Yep.
And everybody was dominating who was in front of them. You had a pick 6. You had the fumble recovery on the bad snap.
Yeah.
Kind of felt bad for the kicker because he tried to do the right thing and get that thing over the boards and out of bounds for a safety, and he just hit it too low, and it bounced perfectly back to the Lions player.
Yeah, and it's just like, boom, here it is. Yeah, and it couldn't do any. He couldn't get it make it any easier than that. It was right there. The pick 6 by Sears was sweet. I mean, he jumped the route, and there was no question. It was nothing but him and stripes. Boom, done.
The cool thing
6.
from our vantage point, Dave, is you could see him sniping that route. You could
Yes.
see him sitting back
Yes.
and squatting on that route, and as soon as the quarterback made his move to throw, he was already moving to the lane, and he just picked it off and went untouched, and it was a great job by him.
It was a thing of beauty. The thing was, you wouldn't expect the linebackers and the defensive backs to get much action because the D-line was so dominant that they took, but no, everybody got in there. Once in a while, they get at the second level, and it was usually a bad idea. But the second level guys were getting in there too and leveling people.
And they were physical too, Dave.
Yes.
It wasn't like this was, just the domination didn't relax. Let me put it that way.
Yes.
They were physical the whole ball game.
Yep.
There were some hard shots passed in that game, and I look for that all year from this defense.
Well, think about that. The fact that they didn't lose focus. You're up 54-0 or whatever. It was 53-0 at one point. I think it was halftime.
Yeah, at halftime.
They stayed on point. They didn't let up. They kept their concentration, and they kept through and finished the job.
Yeah.
That's hard to do because when you're up by that big, there's a tendency, of course, to kind of back off. I mean, hey, we got this.
We've all seen it.
Yeah.
We've all seen it. A team gets a big lead, they get a little bit lackadaisical,
Yep.
they kind of take their foot off the gas. That didn't happen.
No,
that didn't happen.
That was pedal to the metal from Jump Street.
And even the reserves that got in the game, you know, I thought at quarterback, you know, first, Blaine Espinoza in the first half, who was dropping dimes. It's obvious he's a great leader on offense. But then you had young Michael Hill, who came in, the lefty, the gunslinger,
Yeah.
comes in the second half, throws 3 touchdowns himself, and really beautiful fade routes
They
that
were.
he threw.
Yeah,
and,
his mechanics are beautiful.
you know, that route, I believe, was it Marte Sears that caught that fade route, or was it Jermon Fortson?
I think it was Cradle, actually.
Was it Cradle?
It was Cradle.
It was Cradle.
Pick
And he just,
one.
you know, he just laid the ball in the perfect spot and a great dive and catch on the other end. You know,
Beautiful touch.
you never want to have to go to your backup quarterback.
No.
But Damian Daniels got to feel pretty good.
He does.
If Blaine Espinoza has to come out of the game, Michael Hill's a more than adequate backup.
And remember, Hill's 19.
No, yeah,
He's
a
out,
young
just
guy.
out of high school down in Florida. He showed up at that tryout camp, I think, in Jacksonville, and showed out. And Damian knows what he's doing. He's going, I got to have this kid.
Yeah.
And he went out there, the poise he had,
Right.
he showed great poise.
He
I mean, you're
did.
talking about somebody playing professionally at the professional level for the first time ever, just stepped right in and boom, boom, boom. And the fact was, the first half, there were so many quick hitters, short drives, because the River Gators caught the ball up inside the 15
Right.
pretty much every time.
Right.
So they didn't have to do a drive. We talked about it. We were talking about it at halftime. It's
Yep.
like, I want to see a drive because indoor, arena football is going to be a lot of quick 3, 4, 5 yard outs, putting together a drive. And it's only 50 yards. The drives are only 8 plays maybe.
Right.
But you got to do plays in small. You got to be able to pick up small chunks of yardage.
Right.
And he went out there and did it. Boom, boom, boom. And this kid playing his first game professional.
Yeah, it
What do
was
you want?
amazing. It was a great performance, but you know he's got some great guys to throw to,
Oh.
and you can't go without Dave also mentioning the offensive line. Their protection was great,
Yeah.
and they'll have to step up a little bit this week because
Yeah.
they're going to be facing a much better defensive
Yeah.
line.
Yeah,
but
guys
those
are-
guys were tremendous. In getting the quarterbacks, both Blaine and Michael Hill, getting them the time to throw the football, and when they did, you know, more often than not, they completed it.
Yeah, the one thing about the O-line is they're veterans. They've been around for a long time. I mean, Mathis, Ellis, and Harvey and Umas, they've been there. They know what they're doing. They work together. They work well as a unit. Because offensive lines, right? It's not one guy. It's 3 guys working in concert, and they did a perfect job of that.
And also working in that protection a little bit too was Marco Lee,
Yeah.
the back in the backfield, the
Yeah.
fullback. And Marco's a good-sized guy.
He
He's
is.
a load, and when you give him the football,
Yeah.
he's going to be hard to bring down, especially if he gets a little chance to get his momentum going. And he finally scored in the second half, so they got that rushing touchdown. But he did a great job helping protect the quarterback as well.
But we know Marco Lee. He went to Hardaway.
Yeah.
Okay, he played his ball at Hardaway, played at South Alabama.
Right.
He's been around. We know what kind of quality guy he is, too.
Right.
And they've got a lot of leaders on this team.
They really
This is
do.
a team with a lot of athletic talent and the guys that are veterans, they're leaders.
Yes.
And they know how to play the game. Now they're going to get really tested this week.
Yep.
And this is what's going to make it interesting.
Well, if I know Damian Daniels, and I know Pierre Coffey, and I know the rest of the Lions staff, they have plenty up their sleeve this week for Wheeling coming in here.
Yeah.
And they showed a lot last week, you know, but then again, at the same time, they didn't have to show too much because everything they did was successful. there's a lot of the playbook they probably didn't even get to last week, and now you get to bring it out this
They
week.
didn't have to drive the field with
Right.
they didn't have to drive the field with Espinosa. Now Espinosa, of course, is this second year he played for the Jacksonville Sharks last year, got in half a dozen games and did really well for Jason Gibson, coach down in Jacksonville. We all know Jason Gibson. We all know what a job he does, and the whole thing is, Espinosa hasn't shown everything
No,
he's got,
not at
and
all.
that's what's going to make it interesting.
And there was very little running the football by
Yeah.
the quarterback in that game last week,
Sure.
and that's going to happen. There's a lot of the offense in arena football is RPO style offense, and
Yep.
you're going to have the quarterback keeping the football sometimes, making reads, making quick throws. If the throw's not there, they're going to tuck it and run. You're going to see some of that, and just talking about the two Lions quarterbacks, they're two different body styles.
Yes.
Blaine Espinosa is a more compact, muscular player, strong player, good speed, good quickness.
Yep.
And Michael Hill is your tall, lean, quintessential model of a quarterback.
Yep.
Maybe he needs a little bit more meat on his bones before it's over with. But he's a different style.
Straight drop back. He's kind of a straight drop back
more
where
of a drop
Espinosa
back guy.
does the RPO.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Hill can run too. He
Absolutely.
can run pretty well. He's a good athlete, but he looks more like your standard pocket quarterback.
Well, Dave, I think we've about covered everything. So we're
think we have.
gonna take another break here, and we're gonna come back for the last segment or two of the show. I think Thrift's gonna have another guest from the Lions on here to talk about some things, but I'm looking forward to Friday night. Man, I can't wait to get back in that arena, get in that crowd, and up there in our crow's nest. I told you before the show today, we're like the two old guys. If anybody out there remembers the Muppet Show, Dave and I are the two old guys from the Muppet Show. We're up in our perch up there and just having a blast calling this game. But be sure and join us on Friday night at the Columbus Civic Center against the Wheeling Miners, the Columbus Lions looking to go 2-0. We're excited to bring it to you. We're excited to bring it to you this season. Dave, looking forward to it, brother.
It's going to be a good season, and they're just getting started. I can't wait to see what they pull out of their hats this week.
No doubt about it. Well, folks, we'll see you on Friday, but we're going to take a break, and Thrift Behringer will be back in just a moment here on the Lions Coaches Show.
At Jack Houston Memorial Hospital, our focus is you. Even though we performed more than 1,300 joint replacements last year, we treat you like you are our only patient. Your surgeon explains your joint replacement, so nothing is a surprise. Our team knows your treatment plan, and we work together to get you back on your feet again. That's why our hospital is recognized year after year as a leader in patient satisfaction and quality of care. Jack Houston Memorial Hospital. Excellence, always.
Welcome back, everyone, to Poor Decisions. That's Mike Peacock and Dave Plata, my two mentors, who are now the voices of the Columbus Lions, and they've done an amazing job. Glad I got to hear from them. I joke around about two old guys, but they're legends. I love hearing them. They're informative, and they're the best in the business. Glad they can be here. But to my right, Director of Football Operations, Director of Sales, and my good friend, and how about special teams coordinator, linebackers coach? Am I missing off anything else?
Oh,
Koa
no.
Picard, and he's also defensive linebackers coach at Pacelli as well. Koa,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you so much for joining us.
Thanks
man.
for having me. Thanks
All
for
right,
having me.
talk about last week. We asked Dane, we've talked to Mike and Dave. How do you think that opening week was? How about in that incredible halftime performance? And as a guy in charge of football operations and sales, that had to be blown out of the water, man.
Oh man, just grateful for the opportunity, for the community coming out. Thank you all for coming and supporting us. We had a great time with everyone. Thanks to Tony Armani putting on an amazing halftime show.
Amazing.
And our players, they came out with the right focus, they came out with the right mentality, and they just got after it.
All right, Koa. We're going to start with the off-field stuff. You're director of sales. You're also director of football operations. As the football operations side of it, how do you think the game day went? And it just seems like everything's starting to work smoothly. I know y'all working out a little bit of kinks, but all in all, the fan experience seemed like it was awesome. How was the football and the player experience in that aspect?
Oh, it's phenomenal. Our players are always looking forward to coming in and saying, hey, coach, how can I help? Or what else can we do in the community? In the game time, and even pre-games, they're looking to engage with fans and, just be a part of the community, even while they're getting ready for the game. So it was phenomenal.
You talk about the community part. We see Leo everywhere. You're out in the community too. How important is that? We talked with Roger, we talked with Dane, we talked with Corey. I want to talk with you about why that being out in the community is so important to the Columbus Lions brand.
Yeah, so, for us as an organization and myself, community is huge. Being from Hawaii and just how we love on our people, that's what I want to bring to the table for the Lions and for our guests here in Columbus and in Phoenix City, the Alabama area. They are our bread and butter. We are here for you. We are your team. So.
All right, Koa, for businesses out there, I saw the wall. There's a lot of local businesses. You and Corey have been out killing it right now. Talk about how if you're a local business and you want to be a part of this hot start for the Columbus Lions, it's the talk of the town. How do they go about that process, Koa?
Yeah, so, you can give me a call, 808-387-3346. That's my number. Email address, kpicard@columbuslions.com. We have so many opportunities for you, but want to highlight our game on Friday. Tickets are already on sale online. You can continue to get tickets for our season, but we got some great entertainment coming up on Friday night. We're keeping it as our halftime show.
Stupid, baby.
Yeah, and the Nighthawk and our coaching staff, they're going to bring the fire with our team, and it's a great matchup with the Wheeling Miners. So, yeah, you got to be there.
It's going to be a lot of fun. Wheeling coming all the way from West Virginia. Koa, you're also the special teams coordinator. How about the return touchdown of Jake Smith?
Oh, yeah.
And then how about your linebacker, DeCoven Ware? A couple of interceptions, a couple of sacks. How about defensively, special teams? It was just an overall the dominant performance on that side of it. How did you think your team played?
My biggest message to my guys is never be complacent, right? We're always looking to get that 1% better. Phenomenal job by Jacob. He did a phenomenal job returning this past week, and we look for him to do greater things, with this game coming up. But yeah, my guy in the middle, DeCoven Ware. Straight Georgia guy, man. It's like he reads my mind on the field, and he understands what Damian wants from our defense. So he gets the job done every time. Proud of him.
What are you looking forward to this week? We got Friday night, Cupid coming into town. We saw last week that halftime was the best in the history of Columbus sports, and that I think one of the biggest crowds we've seen in Columbus Lions history.
Oh, yeah.
How are you going to top that? You got Cupid coming in. What are you thinking about? Now it's also First Responders Night. So what does that mean for first responders that want to come to the game?
That's right. We want to highlight all of our first responders this weekend. Fire department, police department, EMS, our medical personnel. Come out, have a great time. This game is going to be for you, And hey, Friday, great lineup for our halftime show. It's for you. We are here for you, for the community. That's why we're here.
His name is Koa Picard, linebackers coach at Pacelli, linebacker special team coach, director of football operations, and director of sales. He's got like 500 million titles. And how about just overall good man?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, man. And that kind of puts a wrap on what has been a fantastic show. It's 50 Cent Wing Day here at Port Decisions.
Yes, sir.
Mild wings, lemon pepper. Coach Damian Daniels has not put this plate down yet. His face is full of sauce right now.
Got it. Go.
50 Cent Wings. Come to Port Decisions, proud sponsor of the Columbus Lions. We'll see you Friday night live against Wheeling Miners. Cupid, halftime performer. We'll see you next time on the Columbus Lion Coach Show.